Hello, hello, hello. Patricia here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, but more specifically here in Alaska. And we finished a card, a little while ago, and posted it with this card. Okay, and then, of course, we did the envelope to go with it. So that one, so if you haven't watched that video and want to watch that, feel free to do so. I did another one after that, this one, and instead of the bicycle, I put the wheelbarrow, and instead I opened this separately from the inside so that you could see the whole scene if you wanted, which I kind of liked the idea of. And so I'm going to show you how to make one similar to that, but we're not even going to use the wheelbarrow. We'll use something else. But this is the set that I'm using most of. I'm using the Garden Meadow stamp set and dies, and I am using, whoops, got a little scrap there. I am using this die to make, which comes from the Delicate Forest, this one, which I am using to make the opening, as you can see here. Now, I've already cut this, and I did that because I mean, you know how to cut. If you don't know how to die cut, let me know, and I'll show you that portion of it. But I basically take your pick tool, and I poke out all these pieces, and then the main piece out of the center comes out, and then you have your opening. Now, once you've got this, and let me talk about doing this, because there were two different things. This one that opens up so you can see the whole scene, and this one which just opens to the inside of the card. This one has Stampin' or Dimensionals on it, and this one doesn't have anything other than the side flap. I forgot to turn on lights. Hold on. Okay, maybe you can see it a little better now. So, once I'm to this point, though, and let me give you the measurements for that piece, because if you want to be able to do that, let me go back real quick. I did not use this opening. I could have used this, either one of these, for this card, but I really like this one because you can see through to parts of what's behind. So let's go to back where I was on this. There are pieces in here that I need to poke out that I did not get all out of, as you can see. Okay, so then once I have all the pokey pieces out, then I've got these little leaves. Well, what I like to do, because I want them to have that sort of three-dimensional look, you don't have to do this, but I go from the back and poke it through all the little pieces that are connected. This was the intention, so that it has a little bit more dimension. Now, it is going to flatten out. There's a piece that I didn't get out. There we go. Back to the back so that I can poke these forward. There, I think I got them all now. And it is going to flatten it out when you put it in your envelope. But when you put it on here, it just gives it a little more dimension. Now, I said I was going to give you the dimensions for this. Your card base, and you'll notice I am using the vanilla, the very vanilla. My card base is 8.5 by 5.5. Let me go ahead and fold that and score it. There we go. Now, sometimes you see how it cracked a little bit there? If it does that, the vanilla seems to do it more than any of them. Just turn it to the inside, and then your outside is nice and smooth. And yes, you have a little bit of cracking on the inside, but it doesn't really show all that much. So, there we go. So, 8.5 by 5.5. This piece is 4 5/8 by 5.5. I want it the full width of the card, but I give myself that little extra bit that I can then score at, let's see, where am I scoring it? Depends on which way you put it into your paper trimmer. You're going to score, hello, hold on just a second, at 3/8 on the one side, or if you go to the other side, you're going to score at 4 1/4, of course. Okay, then, and I did not show this when I made the other one, you need to find what part of the paper, and again, this paper, this Designer Series paper, or DSP, is from that same kit, or not kit, suite, that I just showed you, the Meandering Meadows. So there we go. And now I want to find where I want, and to be honest, I think I want right there. I don't necessarily want my focal point right smack dab in the middle, but I want to be able to see right there, maybe over here a little bit. I like that right there. Okay, so once I've got where I want, you notice how I've got just a little bit over here, and then this is going to be my bigger side. So I am going to, let me move all my bits and bobs. You can see what we're going to put on the front of this one. But let me get some things out of the way. And I'm going to go over here. I want to cut off, about 1/4 of an inch of that edge. So I'm going to put it on there and cut that off. Now I want to turn it over, because if I cut at 4 1/4 now, what I'm going to end up with is this, and I want this. So I'm going to turn it over, and because I'm going to have this little bit folded right here, I don't want it to come over here and be too wide. So I'm going to go just under, maybe at about, what would that be? 3/16. I think that's right. 3/16. So I'm going to cut that. Now, I also want to have a little strip for on the inside of my card. So I'm going to put that at about 1/2 inch. And while I'm at it, go ahead and cut it. Okay, so I've got my inside strip. I can do something with that if I want to. And because I'm going to put this on the inside, I want that at 5 1/4. There we go. Okay, so we're ready with the inside piece. Then this one also needs to be 5. It needs to be 5 1/2. So just under 4 1/4 at 5 1/2. Okay, then what I'm going to do is put this behind here so it looks right. That's what I wanted to see. And then this will glue down to here, and then the whole thing will glue onto the front of my card. So let's do that, since I don't have any stamping to do on it. But wait, there's more. Oh, wrong. Anyway, well, come on, get out of here. Can't pick that up. Never mind. There we go. Got rid of it. I want to color this. So before I put it down, I am going to give it a little bit of color. And I am going with Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to lay this nice and flat. And I'm on my glass mat here. And I'm going to get some color on here. Now, I want to rub that off a little bit. Sorry, I hope that's not shaking too much. I'm going to rub it off here so that I don't get a blob on here. And then I'm going to give this some color, and I'm being kind of gentle. Okay, I'm not necessarily going all the way out to the edge. I can pick up some of my Granny Apple Green off of my glass mat. Pick up some more. Okay, I want to hold it so that I don't mess anything on my die cut up. And I can keep adding that Granny Apple Green until I have the amount of color I want. There we go. Check it out again on my card. Oh, I like that a lot. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I need a little bit more green right here. There we go. We're all good. Okay, now we can glue it or assemble it. I'm going to close that. Hello, we don't want that all over the place. I'm also going to wipe this up. This is my cleaner that comes with it that is not very wet. There we go. I'll have to moisten that back up again. So throw it in my bucket. All right. So be sure you do this in the correct order. We want to put this behind this before we add it to the card. Okay. Now what I can do, whoops, I forgot I have some green here. Hold on, let me wipe that up. There we go. Don't want it to be wet, so I'll wipe it with my sleeve. That's an official technique, by the way, to dry it with your sleeve. If it wasn't, it is now. Okay, I can use my green glue. I can use my, well, I guess we're using the green glue because, oh, here it is. I'm going to use this. I like my Stampin Seal. It's pretty tight, or glues very well. Come on. Oh yeah, it's coming. Just couldn't feel it coming out. There we go. So then I am going to stack these, make sure it's where I want it. And then once everything's lined up, keeps seeming to be a little off. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to pull that over. There we go. And ta-da! Now, I do want to give that a good crease because I do want it to lay as flat as I can get it to lay. It's going to pop up a little bit because it does have bulk on it. And now we're ready to add it to this. And I am going to use my green glue for this. At times I've had people ask me which is my favorite. Yes, I like them both. They all have their different uses. And I use different glues for different things. Okay, once I've got that. And notice that these two are the same color, my card base as well as, excuse me, my die on the front. The thing that I really like about that green glue is that it gives me time. And I'm not gluing this top. I could just lift this up out of the way because what I'm gluing down is this. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put my cap on my glue, get it out of the way. I am going to give that another crease. There we go. Now, do you ever make cards that you don't know who you're going to send them to or what you're going to do with them? Well, to me, this is one of those because I have several others. It could be a really pretty birthday card. It could be any number of things. But we're going to do a gardening card with this. I do want to show you something funny, though. Do you see this stamp? This is the one that I used on this card right here with the wheelbarrow. And look at this. The center of that will perfectly fit or hold that, the piece that came out of the center here will perfectly hold that wheelbarrow. So I thought that was pretty funny. I like to use all of my supplies well. I don't want to throw this away. Let's say I was going to do these. I can put these, I can do them all over the place in here, wherever they almost would fit there. But, you know, the other thing is just lay your stamps out in here if you want to do them all at once like I did. And, oops. Well, they're sticking to my hand. Be sure you put them, of course, the line side down first. There we go. Pick them all up. You might have to have a bigger stamp than this. A bigger block than this. And you've got your stamps. By the way, if just in case you want to know, I did use the Pecan Pie ink pad to stamp all of these. So what I have are my little tools for gardening. Got those two. Got my boots. I've got my watering can, and we're going to put those on the front here, basically the same as we decorated our other two. Okay, so to do that, and what I don't want to do is have my glue this to what I'm gluing, to the background here. So I'm going to measure where I want it to be. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on the front. This bottle is not that empty, I didn't think. There it comes. There and there. And a little bit on the bottom. There we go. And I'm putting my boot right there, or boots. My watering can is going to go over here. I'm going to put it up. I was going to put it up on a dimensional, but you know what? I can. I'll just cut the edge off of it. Just need a little edge to go down at the bottom of my watering can. When you use a little bit longer, oops, I may have cut it too long. That's okay. Put it on the bottom. Cut this off. There we go. And the other part, or that part that I just cut off, I think we can put on here. Let's see. How is it going to fit right there? There we go. Peel the back off of this. Put it on there. There we go. Nicely done. These two little pieces we're going to crisscross, and we'll put them over on the other side. So I'm just going to give it a little dot of glue between them. Lay my glue back down. There we go. I want to be able to see both of them. Okay, we're good there. And I'll put a couple of dots of glue here and there, and ta-da! There we go. Then on the inside, I am going to, where's my inside? Oh, here it is. Okay. And we cut this. I'm going to give it a smidge of space there. And I'm not putting a sentiment in the inside yet because I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what my sentiment will be for this one. So I'm going to go ahead, put my glue on here. And just put it a little bit away from the edge. There we go. Nicely done. And I'm going to go ahead and glue it in. And just hope and pray that when I do go to do my sentiment, that I don't mistake. Now I could just put this in there and not glue it down, but I don't have a problem with that. I usually don't do too badly with my sentiments. Now, do I have to put an extra piece of cardstock in here because it's the same color as the card base? No, I really don't, but I like to anyway. It just gives it that little bit more of a feeling of being a really nice card. So I like to put it in there anyway. Now I am going to decorate my envelope, and here it is. And so I will put my water boots and my water jug, watering can, whatever it is. Okay, so let's pick those up. Hello. Be sure I have them all placed on there. There we go. Whoa! It's a good thing I did that. Look at that. I got that on there backwards. So we will take that off, not put it on there. There we go. Now I can clean this and redo it. Somewhere here I have, well, hello guys, sorry about that. Do you ever use the back of your stamps for something? That wasn't intentional, but I could have used it for something. Not sure what, but something. There we go. Ta-da! Now we have our envelope, and I could do it on the back, but I'm fine with just this. You know what? It's good. Okay, there we go. We have our card and our envelope. Ta-da! It's done. And I could put any sentiment on here that I wanted. I could put happy birthday on the inside. I could put get well. I could, anything I want. Happy gardening, you know, whatever you want to put on there. And it's nice to have some of those cards. Shoot, you don't even have to stamp anything on it if you don't want to. Let me pull everything in, clean up a little bit of mess. And somewhere I have here we go. And I'll put that on there to hold it still so that you can see it. This is, somewhere here, we will put, hello, we will put the stamp set, Stampin' Die set there. If you want to take a screenshot, you're good to go. If you would, I would love a thumbs up. If you have not already subscribed, I would love it if you would do that. Share with your friends if you have learned something, if you enjoyed the video. And thank you so much. We will see you next time. Have a good one.